This year at CES 2025, Lenovo introduced the ThinkPad X9 Generation 1. We're going to unbox it straight ahead. Hey guys, it's Al from TECHAERIS, and I'm back with another unboxing for you guys, and this time it is the ThinkPad X9 Aura Edition. This is the first generation of this laptop, a brand new SKU from Lenovo in the ThinkPad line, and it differs greatly from their normal ThinkPad laptop. And when I saw this at CES, I was blown away, and I was excited to try it. And now I have a 14-inch version here in-house. The 15-inch version will be coming at some point, and we'll talk about those two together in another video. But before we get into that unboxing, I want to tell you, I was supposed to be at Mobile World Congress this year, but unfortunately, the Postal Service lost my passport. So I will not be at Mobile World Congress, so I will just be doing videos and regular writing on the site, so make sure you stay tuned for MWC news as I get it and then as I can get it out. So let's get into this unboxing. All right, guys, here we are with the ThinkPad X9 Aura Edition. This is the latest laptop from Lenovo in the ThinkPad line. It is unlike any other ThinkPad that's come out. This is a brand new model, and I know it's controversial. I know some people are disappointed in some of the features on this that were introduced at CES, but I know a lot of people who are very interested in this laptop, myself included. So let's take this off of here and let's take a look. There it says, "Thanks for choosing our products." And there's your laptop. And you also get the documentation. Nothing much in there. It's just legalese stuff. And you also get a 65-watt adapter charger, which I don't have here, but it's a typical Lenovo adapter. And here we have the ThinkPad X9 14-inch. Now, this is the 14-inch. It does come in a 15-inch version. All right, so here you go. This design is new, but the material used here is not. This is some of the ThinkPads from last year came in this aluminum type of chassis, and it kind of departs from the normal carbon fiber look that ThinkPad are known for. But what really makes this laptop different from the rest of the ThinkPad line is on the inside. We'll look at that in a second. As you can see, it says ThinkPad up here on the left, and it does have the little glowing red light. Lenovo branding down here on the right. And then on top, we have the camera module, just like you have with all the other Lenovo products that have been coming out. So the camera's housed in here, and, obviously faces in the front there to the user. And here is where you start to see some differences in design. You see this ribbed design here, and what they call this here is the engine hub. And this is going to house your cooling for this device. And so you can see fans up in here on either side. And this also houses the I/O. So on the side, you'll have an HDMI port here and a Thunderbolt 4 USB-C port there. And you have speakers on this side here. And over on this side, you get a headphone jack and a USB-C Thunderbolt 4 and another speaker right here. And then we open this guy up, and you're presented with what is going to be the biggest difference between this ThinkPad and every other ThinkPad out there. You can already see right here in the center, between the G and the H, there is no track point. The track point is gone on the X9. And the trackpad right here does not house a left and right click button. And this is a haptic trackpad. And this whole idea is competition for Apple. So this is what we're looking at to compete with Apple. ThinkPad wants to get in that game, and I really think that this laptop is really going to have a chance at that, at doing that. I think it's what I saw at CES was amazing, and I'm glad to see it here, and I'm excited to use it. We're going to power this up real quick. All right, it looks like they have not set it up, or they did set it up, so we have your OLED display right here. So 14-inch OLED display, and this, someone had asked me what I thought about the Lenovo Slim 7i Aura Edition versus this, and I can't really give you an opinion 100% right now, but what I will do is we will put these side by side, and you can take a look at the differences between the two. All right, here we have the Lenovo Slim 7i 14-inch Aura Edition. I just unboxed this the other day. I've been using it for a couple weeks now, or a couple of however many days I've had it, and it is very similar to the X9, but there are some differences. As you can see here, the X9 is slightly smaller, slightly thinner, and there's some I/O differences as well. There's your I/O on this side, a headphone jack and a Thunderbolt 4 USB-C on the Aura, on the X9, and you have a USB-A headphone jack, power button, and camera shutter button on the Slim 7i on that side. And on this side, you have HDMI and Thunderbolt 4 USB-C. And on that side, you have that was for the A9, and for the, X9, and for the 7i, Slim 7i, you have an HDMI and two Thunderbolt 4s and a micro SD card. So the I/O is slightly different, but I think pretty similar. What makes a big difference here between the two is that the ThinkPad has that haptic trackpad, and I'm not sure about the display yet. They may have similar displays, but what we're going to do is I'm going to roll some B-roll here, and I'm going to go over the specs with it. All right, guys, let's talk about the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition. This is the latest in the ThinkPad lineup, and I had mentioned that this ThinkPad does not have a track point, and it's missing the mouse buttons on the trackpad. That is a huge characteristic of the ThinkPad lineup, and this ThinkPad has taken those things out, and there are a lot of people upset about it. But you have to understand that the ThinkPad line is still here. There are still multiple SKUs of ThinkPads out there with the track point and with the mouse buttons and with the carbon fiber build, and that look like a ThinkPad. What Lenovo was trying to do here is they're trying to break into Apple's slice of the pie, and with this laptop, I think they have a huge chance of doing that. The build quality is fantastic. It's thin, it's light. The trackpad is haptic, just like a MacBook. The keyboard is fantastic, and the display is an OLED display, which I think is better than what you see on a MacBook. That said, the SKU that we have here is sporting an Intel Core Ultra 5 226V processor, so it's not the Intel Core Ultra 7, which is a little bit better. But it's still it's a mid-range there, right in there in the Lunar Lake family. We're running Windows 11 Home, I believe, on this one. It's got 16 gigs of LPDDR5X RAM in it at 256 SSD. Might be a 512, but it definitely has the nicer 2.8K OLED display. You can also get this in a 1920 by 1200 OLED display. So it's a little bit less resolution, and the nits are a little lower if you get the less resolution display. If you get the 2.8K, then you're going to get HDR 600 nits, and I believe 500 nits in regular SDR. You're also going to get 120 hertz refresh rate with the nicer display. So I'm going to quickly go over what we have here in front of us so that you can know what this SKU is. And this, I don't have an exact price point for this, but the starting price point for this laptop is $1239, And we'll talk a little bit about the Slim 7i because that is the closest brother to this laptop. Like I said, this is sporting the Core Ultra 5 226V with Windows 11 Home, and we, I believe, have a 512 SSD in this one. And then we have the 2.8K OLED display, which is 2880 by 1800, anti-reflective, anti-smudge. It is touch and is HDR 600 True Black with 100% DCI P3 500 nits at VRR 30 to 120 hertz refresh rate. So you got a variable refresh rate of 30 to 120 hertz and low blue light. The webcam is an 8 megapixel RGB plus IR camera, so you can have Windows Hello on here. Also has a fingerprint sensor on the keyboard. The power button doubles as a fingerprint sensor, so that's kind of nice. Of course, this is an AI laptop. This is a Copilot Plus PC, so you get all the Microsoft Copilot bells and whistles here, but you're also getting the Aura Edition features as well, the software that comes with the Aura Edition, which is, I've talked about that in other videos, so I'm not going to go too in depth here, but the Aura Edition gives you smart modes, and which include, the biggest thing for me is that tap to share. So you can just take your smartphone and tap it on the side of the laptop and be able to transfer your gallery, your photos into the laptop without having to do it wirelessly or find some other way to do it. It's kind of like AirDrop, but made for Windows, and you can use iPhone with it as well. Of course, there's the security features with the Aura Edition as well. You have the good health alerts, so you know it tells you you need to stand up or you need to correct your posture, make sure that you're doing that kind of stuff. That's, I don't know if people really care about that, but it's there if you want it. Also keeps track of your battery. Oh, that's one thing I didn't talk about on this one. The ThinkPad we have is, which we'll talk more in depth in a minute, but this is a 55 watt hour battery, which to me is a little small. But the 15-inch X9 comes with a 80 watt hour battery. So if you're wanting a bigger battery, you're going to have to go with that 15-inch because the 14-inch comes with a 55 watt hour. But yeah, the smart modes and smarter technology also takes care of your battery. Says say goodbye to battery anxiety, whether you dial into a meeting or closing up to your laptop set to stash in your bag. Power mode automatically optimizes settings to deliver performance you needed. The Aura software features also feature tech support 24/7. It says no IT, no problem with Smart Care, which is part of the Aura software package. You'll enjoy convenient access to Lenovo's online support tools and chatbot for real-time problem solving, or upgrade to one of our enhanced Premier support services. Of course, there's the ThinkPad build quality, and this has it in spades. This is a very nice laptop, and the keyboard is fantastic, and the trackpad is fantastic. It's just really, really well built. But let me compare just very briefly the Lenovo Slim 7i Aura Edition 14, which I unboxed and talked about last week. And we will have both of those on B-roll here. But the Slim 7i Aura comes in 14-inch, and it's slightly different. It's definitely different in build. The interesting thing is this laptop comes with a 70 watt hour battery, whereas the 14 ThinkPad X9 comes with a 55 watt hour battery. And I don't think you can upgrade that battery. So yeah, I think that the 14-inch X9 Aura comes with the 55. The 7i 14 comes with a 70 watt hour battery. And you can get the Lenovo Slim 7i for slightly cheaper than the ThinkPad X9. So we're starting at $959 on the Slim 7i Aura, whereas the X9 is going to run you $1239 to start. You can probably outfit this with a Ultra 7 and a little more RAM and put your money into that instead if you're interested in a similar laptop. The only difference, I think, is going to be the keyboard and the trackpad. The keyboard and trackpad are going to be, the Slim 7i keyboard and trackpad are nice, don't get me wrong. It has a glass trackpad. It's a diving board style, which I'm not a big fan of, but this one is very nice. There are very nice diving board trackpads, and then there are garbage ones, but this one's very nice. It it does the job, and I don't have a problem with it. It's a very nice trackpad. The keyboard, all Lenovo keyboards are nice, but there is a distinct difference between the ThinkPad and the Slim 7i in the keyboard and the trackpad. And there's definitely a difference between the in design. The X9 is slightly thinner, slightly smaller, but I think it might be a little heavier because they're using different materials. But it's definitely there's a definite difference between quality in these two laptops. If you are not too concerned about the trackpad and the keyboard, especially the trackpad, if you're not concerned about having a haptic trackpad, then the Slim 7i is probably a better deal for you. But they are both fantastic laptops, so I'm not complaining about either one of these laptops. They are very nice. But my pick, if I had the money to spend right now, would be the X9, and I would get that because I like haptic trackpads and I like this keyboard, and the build quality of this laptop is very nice. But I would wait for the 15-inch for the larger battery. 55 watt hours I think is not going to be quite enough. I'm not sure why they didn't do 70 watt hour. I would recommend Lenovo put a 70 watt hour battery in the 14 if it can fit. I don't know, maybe that could be size constraints here, but 70 watt hour battery in the 14 and a 100 watt hour battery in the 15. Considering the ThinkPad is kind of their like flagship, the big boy, I think that they should probably make bigger batteries in this. That'd be probably my only complaint here. So that is it, guys, for the ThinkPad X9. All right, guys, that was the ThinkPad X9 Aura Edition Generation 1, the very first generation of this model of ThinkPad. I really like this ThinkPad. I think it is going to be a winner. I know there are ThinkPad purists out there who aren't fond of it because it's missing the think point or the track point and the buttons on the mouse. And people are saying it's not even a ThinkPad then. Well, I think that Lenovo's thinking forward and trying to bring new customers in to the fold, and I think that this ThinkPad is going to be a great way to do that. It's a great design, slim, has a haptic trackpad, OLED display, just very, very nice laptop. So I really am excited to use it. Can't wait to try it a little further, and then we'll have a review on the site once I'm done with all that. In the meantime, guys, please subscribe, like the video, hit the notification bell, share with your friends, spread the news, and help us to grow this channel. We are growing. It's a very slow trickle of growth, but we are growing, and I appreciate you all for subscribing and following and watching my videos. Let's have a great weekend. Make sure you take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and we will talk to you on the other side.